following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
It is a Tuesday, but it's a Wednesday at the Star, and it is a great day to practice outside today. What a beautiful day for a football practice. And this is Talkin Cowboys, Cowboys-Rams on Saturday night, divisional playoff, and they're going to play outdoors, so why not practice outdoors, right, Brian Broaddus and Rob Phillips?
Absolutely.
Weather's great. It's turned around a little bit from a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since they practiced outside because of bad weather.
Well, he's playing on grass this week, and he's playing outside.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean, if you want to play conditioned football, yeah, absolutely.
And typically during the regular season, if it was good weather, Wednesday practice is outdoors, and then they take it indoors, regardless of whether they're playing where they're playing on the weekend. And so now they're back to that.
Try to keep his team in somewhat condition with the heat and stuff like that earlier in the year.
So makes perfect sense, but I think it adds to the positive outlook for everybody when you take it outside. I just don't like being inside.
Well, there's times you have to go inside.
That's exactly.
That's the key. Is you don't want to. The thing about it is he didn't want to sacrifice practice. When there's been a lot of times, and I remember this in Green Bay, and I hate to be back in the day guy. Before we had the Hudson Center, we'd practice outside, and when players are trying to either deal with heat or cold, they don't concentrate. They're trying to figure out how to survive the practice. And so you never got really what you wanted out of it. If a player's concentrating on, okay, here's my responsibilities, this is what I have to do, and then, that's good. But when he's thinking,
and it doesn't matter.
Okay, I got 30 more minutes of this.
Wichita Falls.
Yeah, and Jerry Jones said it was madness.
Yeah.
In the tower that one day we were sitting up on there, and I think that's when he made the decision about Oxnard and other places and stuff like that, because he looked at all of us and said, "This is madness. I can't do this anymore." And
in the case in your case in Green Bay, even though you may be playing in 20-degree weather on Sunday,
right?
You want to go ahead and get something accomplished during the week.
You live in that weather. You live. Walking to the car from the parking lot to the facility. Yeah, you live. You understand about that. So,
by the way, it's a high of 64. I'm not at the risk of weather talk. High of 64 today here, so it's mimicking the conditions in LA for Saturday. High of 63. Although there is rain, there is, as the caller said yesterday, I forget his name, there is rain in the forecast Saturday night. When has that ever happened?
I said that on CBS 11 on Sunday night. Our meteorologist was there, and she immediately corrected me and said, this time of the year, it rains quite a bit in Southern California.
Is that right?
That's why the stadium is behind. Yeah, they got a year behind on that stadium because of all the rain they had during the winter month and then into the spring. So that's why they got behind with the construction.
Mickey, you just
weather talk, huh? Weather talk. I like it.
We tried to get it in before you got here.
Yeah, because I would have gone on.
I'm the one who brought it up because I mentioned the fact they're outdoors today.
Yes, they are.
Got the dummies out there.
Should be a beautiful day out there.
It does.
It's warming up.
Yep.
No wind.
How was your time on the radio this morning?
It was just fine. Jerry's was just fine. Did you listen?
I listened to the last bit of Jerry.
Was that before or after he took off somewhere? I heard a plane go by. That's all I
didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear all of it.
No, that was part of a question that they asked. They were asking Jerry. They said we were able to be at the game on Saturday. It was a sound effect that they played because they were trying to get a ride with Jerry on his plane out to L.A. and so
they just didn't have a very good connection today.
Yeah. So,
it was
any breaking news from Jerry?
No, other than when they asked him about, do you want to play the way you guys play and, kind of hog the time of possession? And Jerry goes, well, yeah, as long as I'm scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, I got to finish.
Right?
Yeah.
They don't be kicking field goals.
Nope.
I don't want the ball 35 times and then
Can't
end
do
up
that.
kicking 5 field goals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or 35 minutes, I meant to say, and kicking field goals. So I kind of like that answer. It's like, yeah, we're just going to run. No, you got to score points.
And as he said, when I picked up midway in the interview, I mean, you just got to win whatever way.
Yeah.
You win by 1/10 of a point. You got to win.
Yeah.
Style points do not matter. He did sound encouraged about both Cole Beasley and Tavon Austin for this game. So that helps your receiving numbers. Obviously, Allen Hurns is out.
They forgot to ask about Malik Collins because he had an ankle coming out of that game. And the way he played along with Antoine Woods, they need those two guys in the middle.
For sure.
That's right. Because defense can win championships.
There you go.
And it's not Antoine now, it's Twan.
Twan?
That's what they're calling the guys in the
Okay.
locker room. Yeah,
That's good to
Twan. So
know.
if you want to be hip with everybody, it's Twan.
Okay.
We go by human log on this show, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he doesn't know that yet. He responds
was it
to
Marinelli
Twan.
who coined that?
Actually, I think it was Nate Newton.
Nate?
Yeah, I thought Nate did too, and then I heard last week that Marinelli calls him the human. Maybe
Maybe he
Marinelli
got it from
just-
Nate.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
Nate was the first one I've ever heard. I thought it was
I thought
perfect.
so too.
I'll be on the pregame show with those guys, and I'll say, Collins, the human log. You've got it, and everybody starts cracking up, but everybody knows now who the human log is.
It's like with Zach Martin and the president,
Yeah, exactly.
By the way,
Nate, the nickname dude.
Oh, Nate.
Oh, he's always been that though.
that
you know?
and commenting on fashion advice. Those
That's
are what
right.
He does best.
That's
and
right.
talk football. Antoine Woods, sort of a homecoming game for him.
Yes.
Played at USC. He said he's got a lot of ticket requests for family.
Fight on.
Yeah. Be a special type of moment for him, I'm sure, having played college ball down there. So
Jerry, too, with all his cousins.
Jerry was born in L.A.
Yeah. L.A., what did he say? It was L.A. Hospital,
Yeah.
L.A. whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he was born there. He said, yeah, I've got a lot of first and
Those
second
folks-
cousins still there. I should get 30 more people cheering for the Cowboys.
The Rams ought to be grateful. The fans of the Rams ought to be grateful. I mean, Jerry Jones was one of the reasons why that team's back there.
That's right.
Made a big push.
That's
Stan Kroenke and those guys, I mean, he made a push to get the market back in L.A. And so both those L.A. teams in the playoffs, how about that? Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
yeah, and doing very well.
well.
Have both have a shot.
Both have a shot, no question.
I can't remember if I've covered a night game in that Coliseum. Usually it's a day game.
Field that gets very slippery.
Well, we
It's-
covered preseason.
Yeah, you got to watch that place.
Preseason.
Yeah, we did.
Little
we started-
hour drive up the
It
road.
started in the day and it went
But it
into
started
dusk.
early. Well, this one will start at
Yeah.
5:15.
Right,
Dak's first preseason game was
right.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
right.
That's when we knew Dak was Dak.
That's right.
That's when we all wondered what the hell we would have been talking about before he was quarterbacking, right? We were all like, "Whoa, where'd this come from?"
Based on the practice
Yeah,
tape?
based on the practices and stuff like that. Made,
Oh, yeah.
made
Everybody
guys
wanted Jamil Showers to be the backup.
oh, yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
So we're all doing radio.
Well, while we're talking Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, that's where I decided to quit law school.
Really?
Is that right?
It was an Oklahoma USC
USC
game.
It was number 1 ranked OU versus number 2 ranked USC at the Coliseum in L.A.
I think Vic
September
Rock-
26, 1981.
Yeah,
Keith
Vic-
Jackson's probably on the call. and-
yeah, he was because Vic Rockshani had a hell of a day for USC that day.
Actually, Jack Del Rio was playing for USC.
Oh, yeah,
and Drew Dossett was playing for USC.
Yeah,
Say that name again.
Vic Rockshani. Look him up. He was a tight end at USC. I think he caught the game-winning touchdown.
No,
in that
it was
game.
not. It was not. It was Fred Cornwell.
Cornwell caught the winning game.
John Mazer to Fred Cornwell with 2 seconds left in the game.
Look up the name Vic Rockshani.
What a
he was
great
tight,
name.
Yeah, he was a tight end at USC. I thought he caught the game winner that day.
No.
Oklahoma
Fred-
wearing all white, of
trust me.
course, right?
Trust me, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
in
Fred
fact, I
Cor-
still got the cassette tape of that game. And Frank Broyles and
Keith Jackson?
were calling the game.
Only a sophomore.
We were with the KGOU, the student radio station,
Oh, wow.
and they put us on top of the press box. At the
Not a bad
Coliseum.
seat up
Oh
there.
no,
No, you
wasn't
can
it
see the
at all?
field.
Although your sheet, I've got all this
Come on, Bill.
preparation, and I got my sheets are blowing away. And
You
so
and I did
forth.
that stuff at Oxnard. Our sheets are blowing all over the place
Exactly.
anyway. I mean,
and so anyway, if there's 2 seconds left in the game, John Mazer to Fred Cornwell,
Yeah.
and
was Mazer left-handed?
yeah, I think so. He wound up transferring.
Paul
to Texas
McDonald was
A&M.
left-handed, I know.
Yeah, I don't know if Mazer was or
Yeah,
not.
okay.
But anyway, wound up transferring to Texas A&M.
Okay.
And But anyway, in the next day, I went back home to Norman, Oklahoma, and in tears called my dad, who was an attorney, and told him I'm quitting law school.
Yeah,
and
your dad was in tears there too, right?
No, he said, good. He said,
Really?
good. You should have never been in law school to begin
Was
with.
financially or something going on here?
You need to go be a sportscaster.
Oh, okay.
I was studying rosters a lot more than
Then
fathers
or
Fathers know best.
exactly.
The
But
torts.
but
you weren't
he-
very good on torts.
Exactly. But he knew that I had to learn them on my own. You know,
Yeah.
it was a great life lesson right there. But anyway, that's
Mickey.
Coliseum in L.A.
First place I remember watching on television a World Series game. White
Dodgers?
Sox and Dodgers. 59.
The Go-Go Sox.
I did see a
59?
Yeah.
59.
When were you born?
52.
Okay.
Yeah.
God.
Mickey Collins is limited today, by the way.
As a matter of fact, I've got a scrapbook from that World Series, and all I did was keep the pictures.
I don't know
None
how-
of the stories. I kept the pictures.
I don't know how they fit a baseball field in there.
Yeah.
It was really funny how the porch on the right field, I think, was really like Fenway. Like it was, if you were a left-handed hitter, you're putting them in the corner.
And
is
then
what you were
and
doing.
then
Yeah.
center field or left field went for like
Forever.
400 and
Yeah, it was seriously. I've seen configurations of it.
Yeah.
and it looks like you say that it was a really short porch, is what it was. So
Yup, everybody should do
And it was
themselves.
600 feet to left.
yeah, exactly. It was a
About-
poke. It was a poke to the other way. But if you're a pull hitter, yeah.
And it still holds the record for most people to watch a World Series game.
Yeah.
It was. I think they put in like 90 or 100,000 people to watch.
Did
the
we
game.
did we figure out what their capacity is right now?
I'll look.
I did figure out while you guys are looking that up. I did get word, Mickey, to your question that the Malik Collins will be limited today.
Okay.
Limited. So he'll probably do some things on the side and maybe work with Britt Brown, but we'll see how that all works out for him. But the designation name will be limited.
And as a public service announcement for folks going to the game, do yourself a favor and get there early and go to the. Well, I'm looking at the field from the press box, with the end where the tower
The
is.
monument, the monuments,
monuments
yeah,
and
for the
everything.
Olympics.
They've got all those plaques commemorating big events there.
Yeah.
Along with they've got
It's like a monument field there for their.
they've got plaques commemorating some of the top performances at the Coliseum, including the Olympics, both Olympics and World Series and big games, and it's a pretty neat area. If you love history, then you should go check it out. Rob Phillips,
According
take
to
that early bus.
According to Wikipedia, 78,467.
So that's way down from what it used to. Yeah, it used to be.
It used to be 90 to
Yeah, they
100,000.
took out where the monuments are. They used to be seating
seats
back.
there,
There used to be seating
When
back.
you
over
came down the steps,
Yeah.
the ramp that goes down from the
I do remember this place, and I said it earlier. Keep an eye on the field conditions because the grass. Been watching the grass. When USC plays there, it always gets painted a lot, and now with USC not having to play, field looked good from like the Eagles game on for how the conditions. But at night, that moisture seeps in, the air seeps in, and makes that field slippery. You know, teams have had problems playing there. I watch a lot of late night Pac-12 football, and when the nighttime hits there, they tend to have a problem with that field. So it might be something. I mean,
And of course, it'll be a
Bucky.
5:15.
Hurry up and
start
score your points
Pacific
early.
time.
Yeah,
So-
but when it gets dark,
right.
that marine air kind of that stuff kind of comes in there, and it makes that place slippery. So just keep an eye on that one.
Especially if it's raining. Man, I didn't expect that. I figured,
No.
you think New Orleans, okay,
think
Dome
you'll be
or
okay.
LA. Yeah, I
You'll be
mean,
all right.
I don't think it'll be a torrential downpour. But that's interesting. Something to keep an eye on for LA, that's a fast-paced offense, obviously. So something to keep an eye on.
Cold affects that offense. Watch the Bears play them.
Yeah.
Cold makes that offense go slow. I mean, if you can get it to be 38 degrees there.
Remember when last year when the Cowboys played a preseason game at the Coliseum against the Rams? What was your mindset about the Rams team at that point and the Cowboys team for that matter? That was 2017. Cowboys were coming off 13-3.
Right.
Okay. And the Rams, I believe, were coming off 4-12, something
Right.
like that.
It's the first year coach.
2016,
right?
the first year, and Jared Goff's first year. And I remember thinking and there was so much turnover on that team. They changed out all their wide receivers.
Right.
They were brought in at that point. They had just traded for Sammy Watkins,
right?
And they had Robert Woods. They had why do they got all these Buffalo receivers? And I was thinking, I mean, the Rams, when are they ever going to be good again? And then all of a sudden, that year they went off.
I know their GM Les Snead.
Yeah,
Les thought he was going to get fired.
Yeah,
Les was worried they were going to bring Gruden in there, and like Gruden, and we've seen what Gruden does. He kills the personnel guys. So, he was worried about that. But, yeah, they –
give credit to Les Snead on how he turned that thing around.
They did. They gave up a bunch of picks to get Goff, but they kind of parlayed it into some really nice players.
And who
you look overall.
And who he's hired, obviously. McVay has done a terrific job. Wade Phillips with that defense.
I kept John Fossil, who's John Fossil, who's Jim Fossil's son, is special teams coach. He's one of the more respected special teams coaches in the league. But the personnel, they went out and got some guys too. If you look, with the tackle, the offensive tackle, Whitworth, they spent some money on that.
That was huge.
Yeah, it's huge. That's kind of where the strength of their team is, I think, though. Those two big tackles, Hochstein and Whitworth and those guys, and they kind of play it from there. So,
let's not overlook Todd Gurley.
No, never overlook Todd Gurley.
Right.
He's their Ezekiel Elliott. There's,
and so they did the offense that year, and then they spent big bucks on the defense this year.
Right.
Talib,
with
Sue
traded for Peters.
Marcus Peters. Yeah.
They've done a nice job. And Fowler from Jacksonville.
Yeah, picked him up
It was a top 3 pick in the draft. Busted in Jacksonville.
Got a couple of sacks.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of adding pieces. Reminds me very much of Philadelphia. Remember Philadelphia? You tried to add all those pieces. To get a run, they went out and
trade deadline too.
Asamoah, they went out and got a lot of guys.
Oh, you're talking a few years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They added a bunch of defensive pieces and stuff, very similar to that. Teams are running the ball on them, though. Just kind of watch the Philadelphia Eagles run the ball on them a little bit. So I'm kind of encouraged by that. That's the strength of your football team is the ability to run the ball.
So you don't feel like, because you said yesterday, maybe it's a product of some of the scores they've had. But it's just in general. I mean, they've had some leaky run defense.
They have.
Yeah.
They have. I mean, people have blocked him. And the one thing they've done is they've trapped Aaron Donald is how they run him. And the Philadelphia did a great job with this. When he gets upfield, they just trap him with the guard and go behind the trap. So they took advantage of how fast they wanted to get up the field to get the ball inside quick. And that's where they're able to handle that. And then they blocked the linebackers. Mark Barron, a little bit of a smaller guy, was a strong safety when he was drafted as a linebacker. Can run like hell. When you run sideways on these guys, it's hard to play. But when you run at them, they tend. That's where the Eagles were having some good success.
They're giving up 5.1 yards a carry.
Yeah,
122 a game.
Yeah.
Okay, they gave up 194
Rushing.
at Chicago.
There you go.
Game you're talking about, which was a 15-6 loss on December 9th.
Yeah.
It's just
okay, and they gave up 273 yards rushing in a 36-31 win over Seattle on November 11th.
Yeah. And Seattle, we've seen Seattle's running game, and what does Seattle try and do? They try and beat you up front and run with a power back.
No wonder Seattle was ranked so high in rushing offense.
Yeah.
It was that game.
Yeah.
270.
But how about rushing
That's 2 games worth,
but
right?
rushing for 270, right? Is that what you just said?
273.
270, and then also scoring a bunch of points. That's usually, not the best.
31
recipe.
points against them, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them twice, right? But they were 2 3-point games or something like they were.
Well,
close games?
that was a 5-point win, 36-31.
Okay.
And the
27,
33-31 was the other
Yeah,
one, 2-point game.
Yeah.
It's very similar type games. And Seattle in that game had 190 yards rushing against them.
it's just a
I can't remember
surprise.
what's the Kansas City game. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing that one too.
That's just surprising given their personnel. Sue, Donald, Brockers. on the edge. I mean,
Brockers is a good player.
That's a guy that the Cowboys looked at drafting in the Mo Claiborne draft if they hadn't traded up. He's an outstanding player.
Brockers and Bobby Wagner instead of Mo. How about that one?
Is that right?
That would have been the second-round pick with
Yeah.
Wagner.
Yeah.
That's right.
Brockers.
Brockers was there at 14.
Yeah, he was. It's with that the Rams used the pick that they
Right.
got from the Cowboys
Right.
to make
Right.
that pick. Yeah,
That's right.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yikes. Well,
The draft gods. Someday they smile on you someday and they frown on you the next.
they've been doing pretty well since.
Yeah,
all these first-round picks have turned into all pros.
Well, they have.
lately.
They sure have. Sure have.
Okay, and then you look at, against Kansas City, they gave up 448 passing to Mahomes in that 54-51 game, 98 rushing. The other game they lost at the Saints, the 45-35 game, the Saints had 487 yards of offense, 346 passing, and 141 rushing.
There you go. There's your recipe right there.
What happened to Mr. Fix-It?
You know what though?
But they're still 13-3.
That's what I'm saying. They've got the home game. We're traveling.
Yeah, and they're mid-pack defense too. I think they're like 13th or 14th in points per game. It's not like they're giving up 30 a game.
Well, they put a lot of pressure on you.
They're 20th in points.
Are they?
Scoring defense, they're 20th. Let's see, 23rd in rush defense and 14th in pass defense.
Mm-hmm.
I misread that.
But that show you, because they're ahead in a lot of games.
Absolutely.
Their pass defense being just 14th
gets taxed.
But actually, it's better than what I would think.
Yeah, but
because you're right, it gets taxed because they're throwing the ball, to catch up.
Right.
So that says a lot about their pass defense.
Trust me, I'm watching those guys play. There's some guys. Philadelphia was able to get some separation. Again, this is the only game I've seen. I've seen all the offensive games I'm going to watch, but watching Talib and those guys, they give up some separation now. They do. I mean, there's some routes that there were. Heck, Zach Ertz was getting some separated. Talib, they don't flop their corners. So, if you play with a tight end on one side and all the receivers on the other side, they'll take whatever corner that is and put them on the tight end in coverage. And they were running by these guys. So we'll see. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by this. I think that the strength of this Cowboys offense is his ability to run the football. And if the Rams don't stop that, then they're going to get a big dose of that and hopefully set up some other things.
One of the big things for them is their turnovers. They takeaways on defense. They're third in the league in takeaways.
Well, you played number one last week.
And that's right. And 12 fumbles and 18 picks for them.
That's why they get to the ball. They run. That's the thing. If you get a lot of – it's like Seattle. You get a lot of turnovers when you run to the ball.
Wasn't that the Kansas City game where they had a couple of –
Yeah, it was crazy. Mahomes was – yeah, it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
That was
a couple of defensive touchdowns, I think, in that game.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did.
So, all right, we're just getting started here on Talking Cowboys. We take your phone calls when we come back in just a moment.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you want the most interesting, up-to-the-minute Dallas Cowboys news straight from the Star in Frisco? How about exclusive and on command? That's right, news and nuggets you can't find anywhere else. With our exclusive Cowboys content on Alexa, you can have all the answers, secrets, stories, and more. What's Stephen Jones thinking during a game? What's Joe Looney's favorite pregame meal? We take your questions to Cowboys players and coaches, and you can hear the answers directly back to you. Just say, Alexa, open Dallas Cowboys.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean, fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Tommy John time. Pick your plays, not your wedgies. Tommy John is the most comfortable underwear on the planet, and it comes backed by a no wedgie guarantee. If you suffer a wedgie in your Tommy Johns, they'll give you your money back guaranteed. Shop exclusive Cowboys underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys and get 20% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
All right, IBF welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. from Dallas is set to defend his title against four-division world champion, current WBC lightweight champion Mikey Garcia, March 16th at AT&T Stadium. You won't want to miss this highly anticipated blockbuster showdown. Tickets on sale now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticket provider of AT&T Stadium. That's March 16th. At the stadium.
I'm going to be there.
All right, very good. That'll be a good one.
Yeah. I may just go.
Have you been to a boxing match at the stadium?
I have.
Pacquiao.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to the one here at the Star as well?
And I went to the last one they had here at the Star. Well,
was that
Errol Spence?
Yeah.
15 seconds or something like that?
Yeah. No, it lasted one round because the guy got knocked down with about 8 seconds to go in the first, and the bell couldn't save him. So he got counted out.
Is it Garcia that he's fighting this time?
Mikey Garcia.
Much better fighter.
Yeah.
It's be a much better fight this
Whoa,
time.
where'd you
listen to that?
Okay,
with authority.
Al Bernstein, where'd you come up from?
Teddy Atlas?
Oh, Teddy Atlas.
I follow a little boxing.
This is the best boxing ever.
Don't you think he looks a lot more like Teddy Atlas?
Teddy Atlas is rough.
Mine is 45 years.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Teddy Atlas has seen a lot of nights in Vegas, I
What
think.
was the fight?
Seen a
you
lot
went
of punches to the nose.
in Appleton that night.
Never been punched in the face.
that we went to a fight in Appleton that night.
We went and watched Pacquiao fight somebody on TV.
Yeah.
At a bar.
Yeah.
That was when Pacquiao was just dominating. Dominating. And he had a couple fights here, right?
And we had to go. And we had to go early to get a seat to watch it on television or something.
Drunks weren't already there, lined up, ready to go. And were you in Appleton?
Appleton.
I'm sure the bar was full, wasn't it?
It was full.
It's always full.
It's the best.
I live there. I know.
Great little college town.
Were you with us that night? We were in Pittsburgh and we went and watched the fight.
It was a Pacquiao fight.
It was too.
He crushed De La Hoya.
This is your life with Rob Phillips.
I was just trying to.
I'm just
explain
answering
that
questions
he's
here.
he's a boxing fan.
Yeah, he's Al Bernstein.
And then after we went to the place to watch it, it was kind of on the edge of downtown, and then we found out that like a week or two before there was a murder out on the street in front of this place.
Mean streets of Pittsburgh.
It was snowing that day too.
Imagine that.
Jeez. Look at that memory on you.
Unbelievable.
Don't ask me what I had for breakfast yesterday.
We saw what you had for breakfast. It's usually some type of cereal without milk.
Speaking of knockout punches, did you watch the Clemson game last night?
Oh yeah.
I'm going to petition for an early out so I can draft Ross, the wide receiver from Clemson.
Okay.
You want him as your one?
I want him on my team right now.
Julio Jones Jr. It's kind of
unbelievable.
Last night.
That's 2 games in a row.
Might not be Alabama's best defense, but surely was their best offense.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was the thing.
Give Clemson a lot of credit for the way they played defense last night.
Oh, they were amazing.
That's right.
Yeah,
In that
because Alabama
won championship.
Yeah, Alabama. Again, I don't know if that was Alabama's best defense.
Oh, it was not.
But I clearly know it's their best offense.
You know, I said I agree. I think that offense it hid some of their deficiencies on defense.
No question.
Because.
I'll take Quinnen Williams, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I will take
They've got the one dynamic player in the middle who tore up OU in the first quarter of that game.
Right.
And OU scored on 6 straight possessions.
Right.
Last night, it was at one point before it was over, Alabama had given up scores on 12 out of 14 possessions, amounting to 71 points. The last 3 quarters of their game against OU and the first 3 quarters of the game against Clemson.
OU was just too late to start. That was the problem.
Right.
They didn't get the jump that Clemson got.
And I had Clarence Hill on my show on CBS 11 on Sunday night, and I made the comment. I thought Texas defense was as good as Alabama's defense. Maybe personnel-wise they don't have, but I thought OU had more trouble, had as much trouble against the Texas defense as they did the Alabama defense.
Sure.
And I think that was evident last night, too. And Clemson, I mean, they got some – and there it is. Coaching is such a huge thing.
I turned it off after the fake field goal. That's when I lost faith.
Had enough.
I lost faith in the coach on the other side that everybody kisses his ass. You know?
Well, and Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson, is – I mean – that's the reason they've turned around their program and what he's done with that defense. And as much as anything, I'm not talking scheme as much as he can recruit like crazy.
There's no question.
And so much a part of recruiting, whether it's college recruiting or in the NFL, finding the right guys, identifying who the right guys are to draft or recruit.
Like the guys in the middle with those weird numbers in the 40s.
Yep. I love it.
You watch every one of those down linemen; they're all
42.
Well, and guys that came back to school.
That defensive end playing Williams, the defensive end, was that against Williams. That's one of the first tapes when you're going to watch. You're going to say, okay, well, what tape you want to watch that rush in from Clemson? Oh, well, watch the Alabama game because that guy Williams for Alabama is going to be the first tackle taken in the draft.
Boy, he made him look silly a couple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why you win. Players win.
That's right.
Coaching is all good and fine and dandy and stuff.
But you got to get the players.
If your players are better than they don't run jackasses in the Kentucky Derby. They run real horses. You know, they ain't running donkeys. They're running horses.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you have real horses, you're going to win the Kentucky Derby.
That's right.
It's amazing how Clemson has been able to kind of turn it around and recruit.
Yeah.
I mean, even back when Ford was
Danny Ford
was there.
They had some players like that back in the day in the 80s. Clemson had some of those war daddy players.
We're talking about Refrigerator Perry.
Damn right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. His brother, too, was pretty good.
As long as I'd watched them, they were always a program that lost a game that they shouldn't have.
They couldn't beat Florida State. Bobby Bowden kind of always had their number. They'd lose to a bad Virginia Tech team or something like that.
I mean, they're on par with Alabama, which who would have thought anybody could do that?
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, how many titles they won the last 3, 4? They won the last 2 out of the last 3.
2 out of the last 3 now.
And 2-2 against each other, right?
Yeah.
So
they should have beaten them. Yeah, Cowboys. I knew this was coming.
Ernesto in Virginia Beach wants to talk Cowboys.
Ernesto.
Hey guys, thanks for taking my call.
Very
nothing
clever
better
kid.
than Cowboys playoff football. I'm loving it. Like Shannon says, let's goose them and go get them. If this team keeps executing the way they have the past few weeks, I don't see any reason why they're not going to be in Atlanta. I think the number one team that was going to give us any kind of a fit, or the biggest fit, was going to be Seattle. One, because of the way that they play defense, and we put up 24 against them. And 2, because of the type of quarterback that they have. Our defense does have a little bit of a hard time with a mobile quarterback like that. And for the most part, we kept him contained. We bottled up that, quote, outstanding running offense, and we just took it to him. And anybody who doesn't want Dak as our quarterback anymore, I think you need to go find yourself another team. There's 31 other teams. Played like a grown-ass man. The man has grit, and the guy is a winner. Mm-hmm. He's not a tactician. He's not going to make it look pretty. But guess what? We had a quarterback that was a tactician, that was technically sound, and Tony Romo. Don't get me wrong, I love Tony Romo. He did some things as an undrafted player that you never thought he would have done. But unfortunately, he just wasn't a winner, and you can't measure that. So, go Cowboys. Let's get this done. L.A., I know there's a lot of Cowboys fans out there. I'm from there. Let's go and not make this a home field advantage for them. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Ernesto. Since the Cowboys were 3-5, that grown A man has led them to 8 victories in the last 9 games.
Oh, you can say it, Bill. It's internet.
That's all right.
Go ahead. You sure?
That's all right.
I wrote it.
Hey, you did. Apparently, Troy.
I don't understand why you can't say that on TV, by the way.
But you can say it here?
I mean, or you can, it's not a cuss word.
I just say it and hope they dump it. That's what I do. I'm one of those guys.
Brian said.
I dropped the F-bomb one time on radio.
Did you?
Yeah, and I got a letter from CBS that I had to sign.
Which is why I didn't say it. I work for CBS.
Yeah.
Was it Troy Aikman? I saw this. He said on local radio this morning that he texted Dak and said, first of many playoff wins. He's going to be here for a long time.
As I revamped the whole front office for you.
A few weeks ago, that was that was the narrative. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yeah.
That was the old narrative.
But then
there.
2 weeks later, he picked him to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there you go. That works. Yeah, whatever you have to do.
But, I think it was after the Cooper trade when he said that. And he looked at the rest of the division and thought, oh, maybe they win this by default. But they did more than that.
He's seen the rest of the division. He covers the league, doesn't he?
That's right. Did more than that.
Well, what's wrong with the rest of the division? 2 of the 4 teams are still playing.
That's right.
No, nothing wrong with
Philly got it together.
You think Philly's got a shot in New Orleans?
I do. I think because of their defense.
Really?
Yeah.
They got a shot,
I
but I would
pick
take
them.
I'd take New Orleans.
Yeah.
If you were going to think who of the top 2 seats, who do you think is going to play worst offensively? The Rams or the Saints? Who's got the chance not to be good that day on offense?
I think the Cowboys have a shot with their speed on defense to make trouble for this offense. I really believe that, especially if it's a soggy field and all that. Yeah. I mean, this defense is flying around.
Sure.
And it's the best strength they have. And it's the one thing, in addition to the run game, which you mentioned earlier, that's what travels, is the defense as well. They are built to win in the playoffs.
I think they're better defensively than the Rams.
The stats say they are.
Yeah.
The Cowboys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole body of work throughout the season, I would say yes.
Do you think the Cowboys' defense is the best defense left in the playoffs? Of the final 8 teams, is the Dallas defense the best? Statistically, it says it is.
I'm trying to think. AFC, I'm not.
I'll tell you what, I don't know. New Orleans, I know New Orleans is. Where's New Orleans ranked in all this, though? I think if I had to say a defense, I thought the most balanced team overall through the whole year was the Saints.
Yeah.
When you look at offensively and defensively how they played.
Yeah, and as the caller mentioned, well, sure, they held the Saints to 10 points. Saints held them to 13. So Saints made it difficult on them, too.
This is a great example. They're 14th in yards.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are they in scoring?
In scoring 14th also.
Wow.
But and this is where it gets to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Their high-powered offense.
Yeah.
Pass defense, they are 29th. Okay.
But again,
rush deep, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rush defense,
they get behind.
Second.
Yeah.
They're second in rush defense.
Yeah.
But
no one's running on them.
Yeah. Right. See, that's where to me, I just kind of always felt like the Saints were the most balanced team. That they were the team that not only could they cause you problems scoring a lot of points, but they could cause you problems keeping you in check.
Especially when they're at home. That they've always been a better home team, and now they have an opportunity to win 2 games at home and go to the Super Bowl. So it sets up nicely for them on paper.
Is the secondary scary a little bit right now for the Cowboys? Well, not scary. I mean, does it give you pause? Scaring's a bad word.
They've given up some plays passing game wise deep the last couple weeks.
See, that's what I worry. That's where I worry. I worry about the ball going down the field now. With some of these receivers, you're going to play some better ones. Not that the Seattle receivers were bad. Just worry about the Seattle did you a favor trying to run the ball all the time, I think.
Well, that's what I said.
But the fact that you're right about that. By the fact that the game was so close.
I know it's what they do well, but it was just Cowboys weren't going to let them do it.
No,
they were banging their head against the wall.
Yeah.
I'm looking. Wouzier though, he had a nice breakup, and those corners for Dallas battled in that game.
I've never seen a guy cover so well and give up completions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there.
He is there.
The ball's got to be perfect.
See, that's what I'm saying. You're playing quarterbacks. You think you're playing quarterbacks that are better than what you just faced as you go down the playoffs, right? Am I wrong about that? Usually the quarterbacks are the reason why. I mean, to potentially win this thing or to get in the Super Bowl, you're going to have to beat Goff, and then you have to probably beat Breeze.
And you beat Russell Wilson.
And you beat Russell Wilson, who, we all think, me personally, I think Russell Wilson's You know, he's a top 5 quarterback.
Yep.
When you look at it all set, but when you talk about overall game,
he's certainly top 10.
Yeah, whatever you have to do to beat him is hard because he does so many things.
And Goff's outstanding. He's had a great year, but you got to pressure him. You got to keep him from setting his feet. Because when he sets his feet, he's extremely accurate from what I've watched of him this year, just, mainly just on TV. But
you're going to hang your hat on the Cowboy running game or the Cowboys playing defense in this one? Which one?
Running game.
You need one. Which one you going with?
Take the running game. I'll take Zeke.
Give me the defense to limit what they're doing, because I think we're seeing.
You want to keep this thing as ugly as possible, don't you?
Well, I think we're seeing.
All right, you don't want to get them rolling.
No,
get them rolling. We're seeing the Cowboys show that they can be more balanced offensively. If
maybe an Atlanta game, Maybe an Atlanta game, first half Atlanta game, 6-3, whatever.
Well, yeah, that was ugly.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah,
you get them at 6-3 at half, you got a shot.
Because then they're out of their comfort zone. Cowboys have won games a lot of different ways this year.
And then how about the way the Cowboys have started every game on defense? They got only given up 24 points in the first quarter all year.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It is huge.
What did Seattle have at the end of the first quarter?
5 yards.
5 yards?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that right?
5 yards.
At three and outs?
Yeah. 5 yards.
And see, that was their recipe in 2016 the other way around. It was their offense. It was like every single opening drive of the game, they would go 75 yards and score a touchdown.
Yeah.
And so they'd get ahead. Well, this time they are able to take control of the game with their defense this year in the first quarter.
Well, I tell you, what did you say, Bill? You want hang your hat on one.
I want defense. I want if the defense plays like it played against Seattle, then they're in good shape.
I think I'm with Mickey. on this one. I physically want to beat them up. I physically want to. If Mickey
kind of goes hand in hand.
Yeah, if Mickey lets me run the ball and we finish drives, I'm talking 7-minute drives, 8-minute drives. They're capable of scoring in 30 seconds the way they play. But for you going out there and physically beating them up, now you could affect the way by playing defense. You could affect that quarterback a lot.
I mean, you could play good defense against them, but they'll still have 24 points.
Yeah.
You don't think it'll be a 13-10 game like the Saints game?
If it's a 13-10 game, the Cowboys have a great shot at winning it.
That's why I said defense, because I go back to that Saints game where everybody fed off how they weren't giving an inch against Drew Brees. And I think you get the Rams out of their comfort zone. If, like you said, you get to halftime and it's, we only got 3 points on the board. What do we do? You know?
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys have won games ugly. They won a lot of ugly games this season.
22-19 Atlanta.
Yeah. That was just ugly. But you know what? Remember we were all talking about, you're listening to me just blow hard air out of, they've scored 31 points a game at home, and it's 6-3 and whatever, and I'm going, Cowboys got them right where they want them.
Exactly.
The Cowboys have them right where they want them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not scoring. They're not going to score today.
How did that game finish? Did Atlanta score late?
Yeah, and it
to get to 19.
Yeah, it was. They had a chance to. It was one of those. Remember, Cowboys were on that run
6-3 at the half.
A deep touchdown pass end zone.
Yeah,
to Julio. Wasn't it?
Julio. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was one of those games where the Cowboys kicked their ass the whole day and then they give it up at the end. Kind of like Phil. They went that little stretch where they were just beating people up and they weren't getting rewarded for being as good as they were.
Well,
you remember how it ended. Brett Maher
with a field
42-yard field goal.
They went ahead
with
19-19. Minute 40
and
left.
On the last play of the game, Maher a 42-yard field goal
wins
the game 22-19.
He'd missed an extra point earlier.
But the Cowboys were up. Zeke scored on a 23-yard run to put the Cowboys up 19-9, and then the Falcons came back with a short field goal from Bryant, 21 yards. So they stopped him at the goal line. And then it was the Julio touchdown, 34 yards, that tied it at 19 with 1:52 left in the game. And Dak Prescott, as he is wont to do, led him down the field for a 42-yard field goal to win the game on the last play.
That's when he was hot. Yeah. Good kicker.
Yeah.
not where we're all now worrying about kicking.
Now, he missed an extra point earlier in that game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure did.
There's been
some. It was in the earlier in that fourth quarter.
He makes you want to throw up.
But you know what? Nate had a good a good point last week. He said when somebody was worried about Maher, and he said, you know what? Now you know what the rest of the league's going through.
Yeah.
Because the Cowboys had been spoiled by Dan Bailey.
No kidding.
Being, 90-some percent. He goes, all these other kickers out there are in the mid to low 80s on conversion rates, and they miss extra points.
Let me tell you this. I think the best thing the league did is make them kick 33-yard
I
extra
like that.
points.
I do too.
It adds some intrigue.
To me,
Well, you watch now, don't you?
damn right you watch.
You don't go to the refrigerator.
Yeah, you watch. It's like, how about the Alabama missed an extra point last night?
That was ugly.
I'm like, they've tried the fake, but anyway, no. I'm just saying though,
No, I
the
know.
33-yard extra point is now
suspenseful.
I would be like, let's just go for 2. I'm taking my chance. I'm just going to go for 2 here.
Go arena football style?
Yes.
Seattle kind of benefited from Janikowski getting hurt the other day. They had to go for 2, and they were making them.
It would have been a 24-20 game.
But it hurt them. It hurt them It hurt them on the strategy at the end of the game.
Yep. All right, we continue with more Talking Cowboys in a moment.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
It's time for Tailgating with the OtterBox boys.
The OtterBox that builds those crazy protective phone cases?
Yup, and now they're changing the side dish game with the OtterBox Trooper Soft Cooler. Lightweight, mobile, and leak-proof, Trooper is perfect for blitzing a crowded parking lot with a Frito pie.
Amazing. Hey, you think I could fit my 7-layer salmon salad into the Trooper cooler?
Yup, but please don't.
And that's been Tailgating with the OtterBox boys. Learn more about the Trooper soft coolers at otterbox.com.
While a player could look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than just stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than just specs and features. You've got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. Experience one for yourself. Visit myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
You know what? I got Jack Black. You should get Jack Black. Bill, how many products did you use this morning? Because it looks like you showered.
I did shower this morning, and I used 2.
You used 2. Rob?
I did the turbo wash.
Turbo wash.
Yeah.
Rodis?
I went 2, turbo wash and beard lube.
That's what I did, too.
Yep.
Woo. You know what? I think I used 6.
Yeah, of course they did.
6 of them.
No wonder you're always late into the show.
Yeah.
That's why I look so good for this show. And if you want to look good, get you some Jack
so
Black.
debatable
Go
right
to
now.
getjackblack.com and use that Cowboys code, and you'll get some deal free.
What?
Yeah, something free.
That's fake.
It changes.
Tell
It
him
changes.
Mickey wants you to get something for free.
Yeah.
Please reach out to them.
Tell us what the folks on Periscope.
The Periscope folks love it, Mickey, when you do your reads, by the way. They're so excited.
Unfortunately,
in the
there's
break
no
there, you were
read.
getting some reaction on Periscope.
Periscope, they're excited about beard lube. We'll see. They're all come rolling. But again, thanks to everybody Thanks to everybody out there who follows along on Periscope. We appreciate you every day.
Marketing speak. Be as vague as possible.
Yeah.
You'll get something cool.
Yeah.
Just
Brian
just buy it.
But you know what? They listen to the end because they never know how it's going to finish.
Never know
It's true.
when the derailment is going to.
That's right.
You never know when that front tire is going to blow and you're going to go right into the wall. And here come the safety crews.
It's genius.
Yeah, it's genius.
Hey, Mickey, have you ever dreamed of becoming a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
Yes, of course he has.
No.
Yes.
Well, now's your chance. Auditions for the 2019 squad are May 18th. Get ready for auditions by signing up for prep classes now. Classes are taught by master instructors and DCC group leaders and will introduce you to choreography and techniques. Sign up for a prep class and auditions now at dallascowboys.com/cheerleaders.
I needed that date because last year I missed judging because I was busy. I was out of town. So May 18th, huh?
May 18th. That's exactly right.
First round of auditions.
Okay.
Got it down.
Very good. Are you going to be judging this year?
Oh, don't go there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What's wrong with that?
Best judge they have.
He's going to say something about age.
Oh, yeah. All right. Talking Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go to Tampa. Let's check in with Alan in Tampa.
Yeah, hi, good morning, guys.
Hi, Alan.
So I wanted to just add my 2 cents on a couple of the points that you were just making, and I've been waiting half a season for you to address the Awuzie that Mickey just addressed. That issue has been driving me crazy because I have the same opinion. How can a guy be in perfect position week after week and miss these plays? And I initially thought it has to be a coaching issue, that this guy needs to be coached up on how to turn whatever he needs to do because he is in perfect position, but time and time again he misses those plays. But that addresses the other question that Brian was bringing up before. Are you scared about the secondary play?
Yeah.
And it goes back to the question earlier in the week when you were talking about what do you think is the number one pick the Cowboys should try to make in next year's draft? And I'm concerned about the play because, I didn't get the Giants game here in Tampa, but the few highlights that I got showed Heath not making plays when he needed to make some plays. And while I know that Woods is a big hitter, he can. When I watch, and I think the secondary play is the biggest concern playoffs and going into next year. And the final comment I just wanted to make is you guys were also talking about the last time the Cowboys won a road game, and you mentioned that San Francisco championship game, and that too is one of my favorite games of all time. And I'll remind you that was also a very wet field. I don't know if you remember how much attention they paid to the cleats and the conditions, et cetera. And again, it was the Cowboys were not yet ready. They were like a year away, which I know exactly what I thought, and they shocked the world. And recently, this past weekend, I think it was NFL, they did a comparison on the triplets going into that season or into the playoffs that year, and our guys now, Amari, Dak, and Zeke, the numbers were amazing, just absolutely amazingly similar in terms of yards per carry, et cetera, and touchdowns. And so, I'm not counting them out, but my biggest concern is the secondary play. Oh, and the final point, when Mickey was saying that he thinks in the draft they should get that back who can break it open, that fast back. And I'm thinking Tavon Austin should be that guy. He's proven that he's a tough guy. If he can stay healthy, I think we can go secondary, and Tavon could be that halfback person that you put in there on those plays. So thanks for taking my call, and looking forward to hearing your comments.
Well, that's all the time we've got today for the show.
I was going to say, time to close the show.
Nah, that's all good stuff right there.
It was.
Yeah,
No, it
all
was.
good
And,
stuff,
and there was an if in there.
Yeah.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
Because he hasn't.
Yeah.
And that was his problem the last year or so in L.A.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's kind of chomping at the bit to go back.
He's excited about
yesterday.
That. Yeah,
he said he was hurt by the trade, felt a little disrespected. So he's got love for the Rams, but
let me ask the folks.
I'm sure he's looking forward to this.
Let me ask the folks on Periscope real quick. Concern about the secondary. I mean, we talked about it a little bit. On just see if the folks that are listening to us right now, just type in yes, no on the secondary if you've got some concerns. But, I mean, that's, they're in position. I think they're getting coached up.
Yeah,
I really do. I mean, I just think there's been some really incredible plays been made on the secondary. And I think they're looking for the ball and they're way with Richard also will teach them to react to when the hands go up. They've made some plays. Well, remember the play Awuzie made? It was in Philadelphia. They had Jeffrey wide open in the back towards the pylon, and Awuzie came all the way across the field and then stuck his hand completely out and knocked the ball away off hand. So, yeah, okay, they're starting to line up here a little bit. Yes. I mean, there's some concern there. We'll see. Nope.
All right.
There's some nopes and some yaps and nopes.
So,
yeah.
And I think this is what people need to understand. So I've got the NFL passing leaders right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've got a dozen guys that have thrown for 4,000 yards.
Yeah.
And 2 guys have thrown for 5,000 yards.
Uh-huh.
So how do they think that happened? This league completes passes. You are not going to shut everybody down.
That's true.
You just have to do it within a reasonable amount and make some plays yourself to counter that. But if these quarterbacks are throwing for this many yards, does that mean every team has bad cornerbacks? They complete passes. It's going to happen.
Yep.
It's happened in this league for the last 20 years.
Well, you're right. And
you're not going to pitch a shutout.
The key stat for me in this last game, they gave up some passing plays, no question. But on third down, Seattle was 2 of 13.
Absolutely.
When they need to stop, they seem to get it. And that includes their DBs. And they feel really good about their corners. I'll tell you that right now. I mean, they got an all-pro.
Yeah.
They love Cheeto.
See, the people are talking about it's really 50-50 what fans are talking about here, but they feel bad about the safety play.
Okay, safeties.
They worry more about the safety play than they do the corners.
Yeah, because you know why? Because the safeties are the last ones they look at when something breaks down. Like they're trying to catch up and make up for somebody else's mistake.
But we've been talking the last few weeks about how well Xavier Woods has played.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the concern. I think the more concern on Heath. Because I think they're blaming Heath for what happened the other day on the long pass.
Which one?
The one they got to put him back in the game.
Lockett?
Yeah, the Lockett pass. It's like, to me, they were playing robber. I didn't talk to anybody about it. Maybe I scared about that today. We have the opportunity. But they were playing a robber look, which they'd already done in the game, and they didn't give up a big play. So I don't know.
I still think the linebacker was supposed to hit him off the line of scrimmage and didn't get him.
Yeah.
Because there was no corner on him. They played 2 wide receivers to the right.
Right.
And he was in the slot, and he got a free release, and he's running free down the field across. Yeah. And he got all day to throw it, too, by the way.
Yeah. People are liking they're liking what you're talking about, though, Rob.
Third down?
Third downs, yeah.
I mean, that stat doesn't lie, but there's no question. I mean, you want to go back to, I guess, Tampa.
What was it?
2 of 13.
2 of 13.
So 11 times they got off the field.
Absolutely.
And that's what counts,
Absolutely.
But I mean, I get it. You're about to face a team that.
Well, you faced a team that makes a lot of big plays too. That made a lot of big plays, last week.
Yeah.
But you better worry about Gurley making big plays.
There's no question.
If you go back to last year, the touchdown that killed him was 58 yards Gurley.
Yes.
On a little dinky pass.
And I'll tell you what, Tyler Higbee, if you go back, and the tight end hurt you in that game too. I went back and watched that. Keep an eye on number 89, Tyler Higbee.
And they got another tight end, Gerald Everett.
He makes plays too.
He's got more catches this year than Higbee, although Higbee starts.
Yep, absolutely.
Keep Greg Zuerlein off the field. I forgot.
Yeah.
He kicked 7 field goals in that game last year. 7.
7.
That's 21 points. They only scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Legatron. Is that his nickname?
Is that his nickname?
Used to be.
Yeah.
I think.
You'd rather him be on the field than Gurley be in the end zone, though.
Yes.
Yeah. All for that.
Because of that, they almost beat him.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for a BS hold call on Travis Frederick on the 2-point conversion, it probably would have been an overtime game. And it was a BS hold call, all right?
I do remember that one. Yeah. About the pad placement.
Yeah,
That's
hand
right.
placement.
That's right. I got it. I got you.
Mickey Hockley on that one.
I don't want to have to pull out my white hat after this game.
John Perry this week.
John
Perry? Yep. John Perry's got your the refereeing this week.
Were you fine with Walt Anderson last week?
For the most part.
You know what? I was fine because I thought he let both teams play. Mm-hmm. I thought hey, those, for every call that went against you, they had two pass interference calls, in one series. So I felt like both of them were, but I felt like that crew let you play a little bit. But yeah, but John Perry, you got him this week. John Perry will let you play too. He's kind of a like look the other way guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, they looked the other way on the interception in the end zone.
Yeah, John Perry also, but you got to worry about John Perry for roughing the passer. He's a big roughing the passer guy.
Somebody needs to talk to Randy Gregory.
Yes, please do.
That's right.
Please do.
All right, that does it for Talking Cowboys for this Tuesday. And
Garrett interview, right? We got to get upstairs. Press conference today.
That's right. Coming up next. Right now on Dallas Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?